Shabbat Shalom. This is the Elder of Omaha. I've been, as a matter of practice, reading the Jewish lectionary for the Synagogue, the Parasah. The Parasah for this week is the Parasah Terumah. And I was studying it during the past week and thinking about it. It suddenly occurred to me, as a former preacher, what would it be like to preach on that text? How would one dare preach on the Parasah Terumah in the face of the apparent contradiction between that portion of Torah, Exodus 25, and that portion of Haftarah, Isaiah 66? In the former, with what was reckoned as 53 different commandments, God instructed Moses to build a tabernacle out of the gifts of the people, freely given. Lavenu Laval. Such a nice touch on the part of God. The Lord said to Moses, "Tell the Israelites to bring gifts to me, cause them to make a sanctuary for me, that I may dwell in the midst of them." In the later division from the prophets, God asked his people how they would presume to build a temple for him, since it is he who has made the heavens and the earth and all that is in it. The heavens is my throne and the earth is my footstool. Where could you build a house for me? And what place could you serve as my abode? There you have it. If I, in some strange fantasy, was called to be your preacher on the Sabbath, I would begin by confessing to you, first of all, that I am poor and that my spirit is broken, and that I tremble before the word of God. I should indeed choose silence, save that I heard God say, Va'al zet, abitit al ani, va nakarachu, va hared al devari. To those I look, to the poor, the broken in spirit, to the one who trembles at my word. Indeed, the word of God causes me to tremble. Let me clarify that. It is not the text itself, but it is the light behind the text that causes me to tremble. I get quite involved with the text. I parse it, I contextualize it, I take delight in it. But when I am struck by the existence, there and then I tremble. So let us begin with Exodus 25. I could spend some time with you parsing the text that goes by the name of Terumah, which translates gift or offering. I could contextualize it for you, talk of the rigors of the life in the desert and of the sucking of the wealth of Israel behind you. And together we could revel in the richness of the purple crimson threads and the lapis lazuli and the acacia wood and all those so many other things. But in the end, it is the light behind the text that is the Torah. The movement of the divine floods us, and a fragile response in us rises to give something of us in return. With that, let us pass to the Isaiah 66. I could contextualize that for you. We are at the end of the scroll, some 250 years after it began, beyond the return of the exiles. The restoration has fallen short. The branch, David's seed, is somehow mystically gone. The community is struggling to be okay with itself. We could revel in the text, the prick of divine irony, the sharpness of the transcendent language, and we could even have some fun, pointing to those that doubt us that they should look at the worm outside of the gate that never dies. But here too, it stands not in the details of the text, but in the fact that in our history, this text stands there, and the light that it sheds moves internally and initiates in us some need to respond. The same tracks action as with the Torah. The same light is here, the same light is there. The light behind the Torah is the light behind the prophetic text, and it is in this same light that shines in the inner temple of our being, calling us to attend with prayer and to bring out our everything as a gift to the very presence of God.